Life never presents equal opportunities to everyone, neither blessings nor distresses. Some people face extremely unfavorable conditions, which seems much more disturbing to the community, but individuals with courage turn these adversities into incredible achievements. Here we'll surprise you with just a few examples in today's video. But before we get started, be sure to smash the like button, subscribe and click the notification bell for more such amazing content. Sudha Chandran, Indian lady. Every person has some special skill, like dancing or acting or something like that, but we can say that the hallmark of an individual can be one's eternal positivity. Sudha Chandran possessed this quality to the utmost. She was a talented performer, but her positivity came into play once she met a tragic bus accident and lost her leg. After the accident, she was taken to the hospital with her fractured leg. Doctors put her in a cast, but the presence of bad cuts on the same leg aggravated the situation. Due to improper care, she attracted gangrene. Resultantly, the lower half of her leg had to be amputated. But this disability didn't discourage her. She preferred to get an artificial leg and kept on working on acting and dancing zealously. Some of the people thought that dancing would be beyond her capability, but Sudha Chandran persistently kept on giving dance performances for audiences. She even managed to play a role in a movie filmed on her own life. Subsequently, she became a very well-known actress of Indian films. Her consistency, courage and eternal positivity really paid off as unprecedented success. Nick Vujicic, Australian man. Another memorable success story emanating from eternal positivity comes from Australia. Nick was paid in his life in such a big way that was beyond his wildest imaginations. He was born with tetraamelia syndrome, which means he was born without fully formed limbs. He thought over it and decided not to let his special condition hinder his routine life. Rather, he made a decision to propel himself in the life as a motivational speaker. With his positive attitude, he converted his life into a happy and extremely inspiring example for others. An adorable smile always accompanies his face, and all those who see him start smiling due to his positive energy transmitted by his positive resolve. He has turned his birth defect into one of his unbelievable strengths, which he uses to motivate and change the life of others positively. That's why it's said that right here, there is the 180 of all 180s. He claims, "If I can dream big, so can you." Stephen Hawking. The most renowned and most genius scientist Stephen Hawking suffered a setback at the age of 21 years. However, he didn't give up. Rather, he gave a very positive spin to his life. While studying cosmology at the University of Cambridge, he was diagnosed with ALS. He never let the disease overwhelm him. Despite the fact that his disease gradually paralyzed him, but he continued to pursue his studies with extraordinary vigor and didn't let his brilliant mind be paralyzed. He was not only continuing his studies and theories, but also became a household name due to his unmatched brilliance. His extraordinary work on quantum mechanics, black holes, and numerous facets of outer space baffled the experts all over the globe. Hawking proved to be the leading genius in advancements made by science. Helen Keller. Helen Keller experienced a bumpy journey in her life similar to Stephen Hawking. She spent most of her life as blind and deaf. But we must remember that she was not born with these disabilities. She fell ill when she was just 19 months old. Resultantly, she was deprived of her sight as well as hearing powers completely. Unfortunately, Helen could not even enjoy her first 2 years of life as a normal kid, unable to see and hear. She faced the adversities with utmost courage and learned to live a successful life with the help of a lifelong friend and respected teacher, Anne Sullivan. She not only gained knowledge, rather she excelled in every field. She became an advocate of disability rights, political activist, and a revered author of 14 books. With her enormous contributions and gigantic courage, she actually changed the landscape for the disabled people as we see it nowadays. Anthony Robles. You may be interested to know another story of extreme courage and motivation in which the person managed to defy the odds and accomplished incredible feats. Let's talk about Anthony Robles, who was born with only one leg. No one could guess the reason for him not having the other leg. He even had no chance of wearing an artificial limb as he had refused at a very early stage. Do you know what all he used to do with these prosthetic limbs? He opted to excel in the field of wrestling by learning the craft and focusing on his bodily strength. He initially set the record of push-ups in his school as a young kid, and later on he participated in wrestling at a higher level. You may be curious to know about the higher level. He won the 2010 and 2011 NCAA Individual Wrestling Championship in the 125-pound weight class. People born with only one leg at times face very difficult conditions, but there are situations worse than being born with one leg. Nick Santo Nastaso. People suffering from hand-heart syndrome face enormous challenges and their life becomes really miserable as their limb development is unreliable. Therefore, their survival rate is very limited, even as low as almost 30%. Nick Santo Nastaso is one of 12 known persons born with this condition. He was born without both legs and one arm, whereas his left hand had only one finger. Nick Santo Nastaso is a living inspiration, as he not only survived but led to a healthy life, and he can drive. He can even demonstrate his driving skills to people. He regularly goes to gym and impresses the people with his determination. We can watch him pushing and lifting an enormous tire. People may sympathize with Nick for being born with such disabilities, but he's used the deficiency to act as fuel to ignite his urge to face the humongous challenges of life. He displays his multiple talents and impresses the public with his immense courage. Andrea Bocelli. Andrea Bocelli was diagnosed with congenital glaucoma when he was just a young baby. While just before reaching his teen age, he lost his sight due to a devastating accident during a football match. He became totally blind. Probably a lot of people don't know about his blindness, they only know of his composed music. Really, he is excellent in music. He's not only extraordinary as an opera tenor, but he has unprecedented skills in playing multiple instruments. Perhaps he is one of those people who's just in complete harmony with music and nature. He's not only well known for his musical talent due to the songs like The Power of Love and a lot of other songs, but he's also known for his melodious voice and prowess in composition.
Wise men say.
Andrea Bocelli didn't allow his natural disability to hold him back. Rather, he honed his skills to make his life a resounding success. Aaroningham. The story of unprecedented courage and success by disabled people will be incomplete without mentioning Aaroningham. He spent his whole life while working from a wheelchair. His brother loved to ride a BMX and Aaron always enjoyed watching him. Both curious brothers made a plan that Aaron should try his wheelchair out in the skate park. A chance taken by them changed Aaron's view of life. He not only enjoyed wheelchair skating, he turned his desire into a BMX riding career by using a converted wheelchair. He performed entirely dangerous tricks on the ramps and halfpipes. Subsequently, he got his name recorded in history when he performed the first ever wheelchair front flip. It is really astonishing that we can't even manage to do a front flip and back flips, rather to attribute these tricks to a person completely dependent on a wheelchair. But Aaron proved his mettle in the sports. He is an inspiration for all those who suffer disabilities and pass through difficult conditions. If you have a will and inspiration, then there are no limits whatsoever. Sam Crowthorn. If we want to lead our lives by inspiration, then there is another surprising inspiration known as Sam Crowthorn. He met an accident with a semi-truck. During the accident, his heart stopped working for about 3 minutes. People declared him dead right at the scene of the accident. Miraculously, his heart started beating at a normal rate. Despite resuscitation of his heart, he had suffered major injuries. Later on, his hand had to be amputated above the elbow on one of his arms. Keeping in view extreme injuries suffered by his lower extremities, the doctors believed him to be paralyzed for his life. Astonishingly, here is the same extremely injured person walking like a normal, active individual instead of a paralyzed liability. He turned his life based on eternal positivity. Presently, he is one of the most inspiring motivational speakers that one could hope to find. He believes that his constant positive attitude and unprecedented motivation played the most important role in his recovery to normal life. You'd be immensely surprised to know that probably he is the only one who plays guitar so well, despite having an above-elbow amputation. His motivation and inner strength is so strong that he doesn't permit his disability resulting from the accident to hinder his life or have any negative impact. Stella Young. One important example of a lady making a positive impact on the people relates to Stella Young. She's been in a wheelchair for the greater part of her life. Seeing her performance and the way she motivates the people around her makes everyone believe that one can conveniently do more than what they're currently doing. Stella has not restricted herself to any one field. She's excelled as a disability rights activist, a journalist, and a hilarious comedian. She has the honour to serve as editor of Australian Broadcasting Corporation's Ramp Up online magazine. Do you think her success list ends there? Nope, she's even proved her abilities as a successful educator in public programs while working with the Melbourne Museum. We can simply say that Stella has the ability to work in any field of life and surpass others with her competence and dedication. She's proven to be a role model for special people. Jack Carroll. One of the most attractive ways to make a difference in the life of others is to make people laugh, or at least smile. Comedy is the act which really forces people to forget their worries and have a lively moment without giving it a second thought. Jack Carroll is bestowed by the nature with ability to make people instantly happy. He suffers from cerebral palsy, but it's not really affected his immense sense of humour. He doesn't shy away from cracking jokes related to his disability during his performance. Initially, he appeared on Britain's Got Talent and appealed to the audience's sense of humour. He also made appearances in other shows like Ministry of Curious Stuff. He treaded the path of comedy when he was just 14 years of age and got the chance to participate in Britain's Got Talent. It was immensely impressive to see a 14-year-old boy having massive confidence and immaculately mature sense of comedic timing.
Don't worry, I know what you're thinking. Harry Potter's had a nasty Quidditch accident.
Such an astounding ability takes decades to develop in certain people, which makes them perfect comedians. It seems he was given the capability to fast-track and reach comedic competence by perfecting his skills. He has already reached the level of most mature professional comedians. Quan Hongyang, Chinese girl. Let's tell you about an exceptionally brave girl who surprised everyone. Her name is Quan Hongyang, and she was unfortunate as far as her childhood is concerned, but you may not guess that by seeing her routine life. She faced enormous challenges as she suffered a car accident at the age of just 4 years and lost both her legs. She and her family tried the best to make life work as usual. They lived in a backward rural area and hence had limited options to do something better. She resorted to make use of half basketball to balance her body, whereas her hands to guide during movement. She pulled along like this for many years. Fortunately, her condition came to be widely known throughout China. Luckily, modern science came to her help as it can provide a lot of solutions for addressing human shortcomings. Quan was provided artificial limbs free of cost. It greatly encouraged her to the extent that she learned how to swim. With her passion, she learned swimming really well. We can claim that this is a very encouraging example worth following. It gives us a magnificent lesson that we must always keep our positivity and be assured to perform marvellous deeds. Examples of all the people we discussed made it amply clear that the only hallmark of success is to stay positive and never submit to the adversities. The most important thing is to identify what you can do your best and motivate people through public speaking or charitable activities. Spare some time to share your views with us in the comments section. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and you can check out our other amazing videos on our channel until we're back with a new one. See you all next time. Goodbye till then.